Chodesh Tov, good morning. Rosh Chodesh Ab, July 19th, 2023. The Siddur. The Siddur is a very, very important part of the Jewish person, the Jewish home, the Jewish day. And we have an abundance of different Siddurim today. But what Siddur, if you asked me, stands out for Sephardim? And I would have to go to a Siddur called Tefillat HaHodesh. Tefillat HaHodesh first appeared in 1801 in Livorno, Italy, and it was published in 19 editions in Livorno alone between 1801 and 1972. But it wasn't only published there. It was published in Yerushalayim 7 different times from 1895 till 2014. In Vienna, Austria, 5 times from 1905 till 1938. In Tel Aviv, 3 times from 1966 till 1978. And even in Mumbai, India, 3 times from 1889 till 1937. This is the typical Sephardi Siddur. It included all the prayers, all the halakhot, all the kavanot, everything your average person and then some would want in a Siddur. And in fact, there are those that are reprinting the Siddur today, and there's a new edition that just came out this year, 2023. The Siddur is extremely important. It came out, as I said, in the first time, 1801. All the halakhot are based upon the Hidah, and according to many sources, most probably it's the Hidah himself, Rabbi Haim Yosef David Azulai, one of the greatest Sephardi Hachamim, who put together the Siddur and all the halakhot in it. He passed away in 1806, so it's very possible, and he was living in Livorno, Italy. So again, it's very possible that in fact it was he himself who did it, or at least he directed and oversaw the entire project. After his passing and in subsequent editions, the famous Rabbi Eliyahu ben Amuzeg, who was one of the great printers and Hachamim of Livorno, he continued it and added to it. I would like, with your permission, to start reading the halakhot and the hanhagot from the Siddur on a regular basis. That way we could see how people did things prior to what we know today from, let's say, Rabbi Haim Palachi, or from Rabbi Yosef Haim the Ben Ish Hai, or from Hacham Odia Yosef, or Hacham Mordechai Eliyahu, all who very, very important Hachamim, and all who have influenced our Siddurim. But this was the Siddur that withstood the test of time. Like I said, started in 1801. Here we are in 2023, 220 plus years later, and it's still being published and still being used. There must be something to it. So, I have in my hand the 1864 Livorno edition, and we'll start reading halakhot every day from it. A few halakhot. So, starts. Dinei lakum ba'ashmoret untilat yadayim. The law is to get up in the morning and netilat yadayim. Aleph. Miyad kishnei'ol mishanato yoman modeh ani lefanecha. Immediately upon arising, person says modeh ani lefanecha. Then in parentheses, be'en sarich netilat yadayim, be'yesh omrim shesarich. There are those that say it requires netilat yadayim prior to saying modeh ani, and there are those that say it does not require it. Obviously, if this entire thing is in parentheses, it means it's not as important as the main line, which is immediately upon arising, you say modeh ani. So obviously, if it's immediately on arising, that means it's without netilat yadayim. And that piece in parentheses is just to let you know there are other opinions. Bet. Miyad yitol yadav kara'ui. Ve'af al pi she'eno roseh lakum yitol yadav. Immediately wash the hands in the proper manner, even if you really don't want to get up. Velo yitol min misharetet goya ולא מישראלית נידה, כי הוא בא לדחות סטרה החרה בדבקתו הרעה. And a person should not get his hands washed through a non-Jewish maid or through a Jewish woman who is menstruating, because he's coming to, when he does Netilat Yadayim, he's coming to remove the Sitra Ahara, these nether forces from himself. And if you use somebody who has this Tum'ah on them, all you're doing is adding insult to injury, making it worse instead of removing it. Yilbash, halakha gimel, Yilbash karaui, betob shiyakum ma'umad, v'kemat hasot machni'a yisahara. Person has to first get dressed properly and proper to stand up. You know, when you get dressed, and arising at hasot, at midnight, machni'a yisahara. It helps to push down, push away, put in its place the yisahara, which is the evil inclination. In other words, you're waking up Hasot Laila. It was at a time period when obviously they slept much earlier. They would get up at night to start reading Tehillim, cry over the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, to learn before the day would begin. Different time frame than we are today, where we're up usually until midnight, if not past midnight. Final halakha of today, halakha dalet. Lo yelech arba' amot bilin netilat yadayim. Person should not walk 4 amot, 6 feet, without doing netilat yadayim. Mehu davar hamur me'od. And this is a very, very serious issue. V'im keli harhisa rehokim. V'im keli harhisa rehokim. But if the vessels to wash his hands are far away, you have to take small steps and walk 4 amot, in other words 6 feet, pause, walk another 6 feet, pause, etc., until you finally reach the destination. These are halakhot that we grew up with, halakhot that were taught to us over and over again, halakhot that are not always heard today. Stay tuned for the next episode.